An apple a day keeps the doctor away. So with over 90 million tons of apples harvested worldwide each year, should doctors consider a new career? Just kidding. But seriously, have you ever wondered how those mountains of apples turn into billions of bottles of juice and cider enjoyed around the world? The incredible journey of this superfruit begins in lush, sun-drenched orchards, where apples ripen like little jewels under the open sky. Each one is picked with precision, packed with care, and whisked away to state-of-the-art factories. There, every glossy apple is transformed into the juice that fuels your mornings or the cider that spices up your evenings. Today, Agriculture Insight is taking you on a juicy adventure. From the first branch to the final bottle, uncovering the secret recipes, behind-the-scenes techniques, and everything in between. All will be revealed in this video. From ancient myths to modern life, the apple has retained its mysterious allure, both as the sweet fruit of knowledge and as a symbol of the delicate boundary between desire and temptation. But why the apple, and not any other fruit? On the global apple map, China dominates production, accounting for more than 40% of the world's total output, while the United States conquers markets through technology and quality, with premium varieties like Fuji, Gala, Honeycrisp, and Golden Delicious, and the Mott's brand, which produces over 1.2 million bottles of apple juice every single day. Compared to oranges, apple juice is not only lower in acid and gentler on sensitive stomachs, but it also boasts higher levels of polyphenols and pectin, helping to reduce cholesterol, aid digestion, and provide powerful antioxidant benefits. And every journey has a beginning. Now let's step into the most radiant chapter of the apple story, the harvest season, where every beginning ripens into a golden season of abundance. An apple tree usually takes 4 years of patience to bear its first fruits, but after nearly a decade, once it reaches full maturity, it can yield thousands of apples each harvest season. Every August, the bright red apples begin to ripen in abundance, signaling the arrival of harvest time. Depending on their intended use, the apples are picked either by machine or by hand. At premium apple orchards where thousands of tons of fruit are produced each year to meet the demanding standards of fresh fruit markets, hand harvesting remains the top choice. In the past, picking apples from the highest branches relied on tall, precarious wooden ladders, the key to unlocking a golden harvest. But today, in modern orchards, that key has been replaced by semi-automated systems combining conveyors and motorized lifting platforms. Pickers simply stand on the platform as the machine glides smoothly between rows at adjustable heights, allowing them to reach every canopy safely, precisely, and efficiently. Once a ripe apple rests gently in hand, it is placed onto a conveyor belt that carries it straight to the sorting area, without a single bruise or scratch. Each machine can carry up to 10 large bins and move continuously between the orchard rows, doubling productivity and reducing labor effort by up to 30% compared with traditional manual harvesting, while still preserving the perfection of every apple, meeting the strictest standards of the world's most demanding markets. In contrast, for apple varieties used to make juice or cider, where appearance is no longer the determining factor, shaking machines have become the perfect choice. The intelligent mechanism features a steel arm wrapped in rubber padding, generating controlled vibrations strong enough to shake ripe apples from the trees without causing significant damage to the trunk or roots. Each hour, the most advanced shaking systems can cover dozens of hectares, boosting productivity by 4 to 5 times compared with traditional manual harvesting. Once the ground is carpeted with fallen apples, sweeping and collection machines take over the final stage. Rotating brushes close to the ground gently sweep the apples into neat rows, and the integrated suction and conveyor system immediately draws the fruit into the collection chamber. Fast, efficient, yet gentle enough to prevent bruising or damage. The apples are then lifted onto a conveyor belt, pass through a leaf and debris filter and are transferred into bins at the rear of the machine. Once full, the bins are emptied into trailers for transport to the processing facility. A next-generation shaking variant goes even further, integrating funnels or foldable catching tarps that reduce fruit loss by up to 90% and cut harvesting time nearly in half. This smart technology is widely used across Europe and North America, especially in Poland, Germany, and Washington State, where speed, productivity, and efficiency define a successful harvest. In orchards where apple trees are planted in straight rows, standing under 3 meters tall with compact canopies, German imported over-row harvesters are commonly used. This giant can reach 7 meters in length and 2.5 meters in height, harvesting 8 to 10 tons of apples per hour, primarily for industrial-grade apple varieties. Soft, rubber-coated rotating rollers vibrate continuously as the machine moves between rows, shaking ripe apples from the branches and immediately feeding them onto a conveyor belt that carries them to the collection bin. Compared to shaking machines, the over-row harvester excels in continuous and synchronized operation. It doesn't need to stop at each tree, effectively doubling productivity while minimizing trunk damage. However, it requires flat terrain, evenly spaced rows, and compact canopies, making it unsuitable for traditional orchards with tall or irregular trees, where shaking machines still hold the edge in flexibility. At an entirely new level of apple production, apple harvesting robots and drones are paving the way for the future of high-tech agriculture. Tested in the United States, New Zealand, and Japan, these intelligent machines use sensors, 3D cameras, and AI recognition systems to determine the exact location, ripeness, and size of each apple. Robotic arms gently pick the fruit with near-perfect precision, while autonomous drones can reach the highest branches that humans can't. Although costs remain high and speed still lags behind mechanical harvesters, this technology marks a major leap forward, reducing labor needs, boosting efficiency, and preserving fruit quality at an exceptional level. And when the harvest is done, truckloads of apples roll toward the processing plants, where the journey of a billion-dollar fruit empire truly begins. As soon as the freshly harvested apples arrive at the processing plant, they are gathered in the raw material receiving area and quickly placed into temporary cold storage to preserve their natural freshness, crispness, and flavor before processing. For premium apples intended for fresh consumption, every batch must undergo a rigorous inspection by quality control specialists to ensure compliance with strict standards of appearance, uniformity, and food safety. Once the inspection process is complete, the qualified batches of apples are transferred to the processing line, beginning with a step that seems simple but is absolutely essential: washing. At the start of the process, apples are emptied into large circulating water tanks, maintained at an ideal temperature of 20 to 25 degrees Celsius, combined with continuous air bubbling and a diluted chlorine solution at a safe concentration. This soaking stage not only removes dust, soil, and surface bacteria, but also eliminates pesticide residues that may remain from cultivation and transport. The cleaning doesn't stop there. After soaking, the apples move through soft roller conveyors, sprayed with high-pressure water jets from multiple angles, thoroughly cleansing every crevice of the peel without scratching or dulling its natural shine. After being thoroughly washed and polished, thousands of gleaming apples move onto soft bristle roller conveyors, equipped with high-capacity air blowers that gently remove residual moisture from their surface. This step helps prevent mold growth and spoilage during subsequent stages of processing. The conveyor then carries the apples to a manual inspection station, where trained workers carefully visually examine each fruit, removing any that are bruised, scratched, or misshapen. This ensures that only the most flawless apples proceed to the next stage, the automated optical grading system, where precision technology takes over. And now comes the most precise and crucial stage of the entire process: apple grading using an automated optical sorting system, a technological breakthrough that reduces manual errors by up to 90% and determines the destiny of every single apple. The entire operation takes place on a smart conveyor system equipped with color sensors, weight detectors, and high-resolution cameras. The system can identify size, gloss, tone, and even the smallest imperfections such as bruises, cracks, or discoloration, details that the human eye can hardly detect with precision and consistency. Apples that fail to meet standards are automatically removed by ultra-precise airjets, while those that pass are classified according to size, quality, and intended use. Apples with a beautiful shape, even color, and flawless skin are sent to the fresh apple packaging line. Here, they are arranged into trays or packed into plastic bags, then sealed securely and labeled with full product information. Finally, the finished products are placed into cartons, stacked on pallets, and moved to cold storage, awaiting distribution to consumers worldwide. While the most flawless apples have already made their way to consumers around the world, the journey continues at processing plants dedicated to apple juice and cider production. Each day, a large-scale facility, such as Mott's, USA, can receive thousands of tons of apples from farms across the region. Unlike table apples, processing apples don't need to look perfect, but they must meet strict standards for sweetness, crispness, and flavor to produce a pure, well-balanced juice. After being received, washed, and quality checked, the apples are fed into high-capacity grinding machines equipped with high-speed rotating blades capable of processing hundreds of tons per day. Under intense centrifugal force, the apples are crushed into a fine mash of pulp, juice, and peel, creating the apple mash, the essential raw material for the juice extraction stage that follows. The crushed apple mash is transferred to the pressing stage to extract its precious juice. In traditional or medium-scale factories, the drum press, a long-standing reliable technology, remains in use thanks to its simple design, durability, and ease of maintenance. However, the belt press has become the modern standard, favored by large industrial facilities for its ability to operate continuously, deliver superior throughput, achieve high juice recovery rates, and preserve the natural flavor of the apples. Each day, an industrial belt press system can process hundreds of tons of apples, achieving productivity 2 to 3 times higher than conventional presses. Under immense pressure, the juice is separated and flows through fine filtration screens, while the remaining dry pulp is collected separately. In modern factories, apple pomace is not wasted, but dried or pelletized for efficient reuse. Rich in fiber and nutrients, it is used as a natural livestock feed or biologically fermented to produce organic fertilizers. It also serves as a sustainable raw material for the green industry, processed into pectin, ethanol, pharmaceuticals, and natural cosmetics, maximizing the value chain of every harvested apple. The juice obtained after pressing is sent to the filtration stage, a crucial step that removes pulp, pectin, and impurities, ensuring clarity and natural flavor. Various filtration methods are used today, from traditional mesh filters to microfiltration and advanced tubular membrane systems. At this point, the process diverges into 2 distinct directions. For apple juice, the filtered liquid is transferred to heated mixing tanks to stabilize enzymes and improve clarity. This process occurs at 35 to 45 degrees Celsius for at least 30 minutes, allowing the breakdown of pectin and remaining colloidal compounds. The juice is then rapidly cooled to stop enzymatic activity before entering a tubular sterilization system, where it is quickly heated to 85 to 90 degrees Celsius and immediately cooled, ensuring microbial safety while preserving its natural freshness and flavor. In the production of apple cider, The filtered apple juice is transferred to the fermentation area, the most crucial stage in transforming fruit juice into alcoholic cider. Depending on the scale of the facility, each fermentation tank can hold anywhere from several hundred to tens of thousands of liters of liquid. Once yeast is added to the filtered juice, the fermentation process begins, lasting from 5 to 14 days under strictly controlled temperatures. After the yeast completes fermentation, the sediment settles at the bottom of the tank. At this stage, the clear cider is siphoned off and transferred to the aging phase. Depending on the type of product and the techniques used by each facility, the cider can be aged in large stainless steel tanks or traditional oak barrels. Aging in stainless steel tanks preserves the cider's fresh, crisp apple character, while aging in oak barrels allows it to absorb woody aromas, tannins, and natural compounds from the barrel walls, creating a richer, deeper flavor with a long, smooth finish. The aging period typically lasts from 1 to 6 months, and for premium ciders, it may extend up to a year. Throughout this time, technicians regularly take samples to monitor key indicators such as clarity, alcohol content, acidity, and microbial stability. Once the cider reaches the desired quality standards, it is passed through a fine filtration system to remove any remaining sediments, yeast residues, or impurities. Before bottling, both apple cider and juice must undergo rigorous quality control tests in the laboratory. Only batches that meet all specifications are approved for packaging. When everything is ready, the bottling process officially begins, the final stage that completes the entire production journey and delivers the product to consumers. First, empty bottles are sent through a specialized cleaning system, where they are thoroughly washed with sterilized water or high-pressure air at 70 to 80 degrees Celsius to eliminate microorganisms and remove any dust or residue. After drying, the bottles are automatically transferred to the filling section. Here, the automated filling system operates with near-perfect precision. Once filled, the bottles move on to the automatic capping unit. Caps, whether screw, press-fit, or aluminum, are sealed tightly under controlled pressure to guarantee airtight closure, prevent oxidation, and preserve the product's natural flavor. The sealed bottles are then sterilized and dried before proceeding to the labeling section. Each label clearly displays the brand, origin, production date, expiration date, and traceability code. After a final quality check, the finished bottles are packed into plastic crates or cartons, stacked on pallets, and transferred to cold storage, ready for distribution to markets and consumers around the world. Imagine standing in the heart of an endless sea of orange trees, stretching beyond the horizon. Welcome to São Paulo, Brazil. Brazil grows more oranges than any other country, over 17 million tons every year, nearly a third of the world's supply. But when it comes to turning those oranges into juice, the United States holds the crown, thanks to Tropicana. Today, Tropicana orange juice is enjoyed by millions around the world, with over 1 billion bottles produced each year. All thanks to a secret recipe that has been carefully guarded for decades, which we're about to uncover in this video. Bursting with vitamin C, orange juice contains twice as much as apple juice and nearly 3 times more than grape juice, turning your morning glass into a daily dose of sunshine and health. Like every great story, this one begins at the source, with the season's first ripe oranges, gently hand-picked from the orchard, revealing the very first secret in this magical process. Every year in November, the endless orange groves enter their most vibrant and bustling harvest season. Oranges must reach just the right level of ripeness, with firm, plump skins and a bright orange hue, before they can be picked to ensure the highest quality. At large-scale farms, harvesting machines operate in a highly systematic way. Soft brushes or vibrating rods move along each row of trees, calibrated to generate just the right amount of shaking, depending on the thickness of the branches and the ripeness of the fruit. Beneath the trees, a synchronized conveyor system quickly and continuously gathers the falling oranges, minimizing bruising and ensuring no ripe fruit is left behind. Meanwhile, in orchards where trees grow more naturally without neat rows, tree shaking machines are the more common choice. The mechanical arms of these machines clamp onto the tree trunks and create powerful vibrations, causing all the ripe oranges to fall onto large tarps spread out beneath the trees. These modern systems can harvest up to 100 tons of oranges per day with remarkable speed and efficiency, especially ideal for orchards that are neatly pruned and organized in straight rows. However, as the saying goes, haste makes waste. Harvesting quickly with machines can damage the peel and the tree itself, while unripe oranges also get caught in the process. Perhaps even the orange trees wish for gentler treatment. That's why, on smaller farms, hand-picking remains the preferred method. Workers use specialized clippers to carefully harvest each orange, checking its ripeness right there in the orchard before gently placing it into baskets or mesh crates to avoid bruising. In the US, the job of picking oranges, rain or shine, is mostly done by immigrant laborers, earning about $1 per box. Strange as it may sound, these days it seems that an orange has an easier time immigrating to America than people from Mexico and many other countries. Once the baskets are full, the oranges are loaded onto small trucks and transported to a central storage area. And now, let's follow these oranges as they enter a world of high-tech processing, inside the orange juice factory, where secrets that have been closely guarded for decades are finally about to be revealed. As soon as the crates filled with plump, ripe oranges arrive at the factory, they're moved onto a conveyor belt fitted with rotating rollers. This roller system allows workers to examine each orange from multiple angles, identifying any that are bruised, rotten, or below standard size. Oranges that don't meet the requirements are immediately removed to ensure only high-quality fruit advances to the next stages of processing. Once the oranges pass quality control, they proceed to the cleaning area. Here, they're placed into large water tanks equipped with air bubble systems and sanitizing solutions that remove dust, pesticide residue, and any other impurities clinging to the peel. After this initial soak, the oranges roll through high-pressure spray nozzles for a final rinse, ensuring the surface is perfectly clean before entering the processing line. They are then moved to the drying conveyor. Powerful fans, working alongside rollers covered with soft bristles or special brushes, gently dry the oranges without damaging their delicate outer skin. In another part of the process, a modern factory setup will leave you amazed with its state-of-the-art machinery and impressive efficiency. Next comes sorting, a step that might seem simple, but is actually one of the most crucial links in the chain of producing a high-quality bottle of Tropicana orange juice. Only oranges that are perfectly ripe, full of juice, and have a flawless sweet-to-tart ratio are selected. A modern conveyor system equipped with sensors and automated cameras handles the sorting process based on size, color, and surface quality. The oranges first pass over adjustable slots that separate them by size. Smaller than standard fruit falls to a lower level for separate processing, while larger ones continue down the main line. In addition to the automated systems, trained workers are positioned along the conveyor to perform a final inspection, catching any flawed oranges the machines might miss. After this stage, the sorted fruit is directed to the appropriate processing or packaging area according to its quality. This meticulous sorting process ensures that only the best oranges make it into every bottle of juice. By combining advanced technology with human expertise, the factory maintains consistent flavor, color, and quality in every batch. The mixture of orange peel, sugar, and lemon juice is cooked in steam kettles or large copper pots at a temperature of around 104 to 108 degrees Celsius until it reaches the ideal thick, jam-like consistency. Once the ideal consistency is reached, the marmalade is poured into glass jars or plastic containers using an automated filling system on the production line. This filling process takes place in a sterile environment to ensure each container is filled with the exact amount of marmalade and remains uncontaminated. Lids are sealed, either screwed or pressed on, and labeled with full product details, including ingredients and expiration date. Sensors on the conveyor verify that each label is properly aligned and undamaged. After labeling, the jars go through a final quality check before being packed into cardboard boxes, sealed, and prepared for distribution. And now we arrive at the star of the show, the process behind the creation of those world-famous bottles of fresh orange juice. Once sorted, the oranges are sent into a modern mechanical juicing system, where they are pressed whole. No slicing required. Rotary drums or high-pressure presses compress each fruit, extracting the maximum amount of juice. This closed-loop system not only maximizes juice yield but also preserves the fresh flavor and natural nutrients, ensuring top-tier quality in every drop. Once extracted and filtered, the fresh orange juice is sent through a rapid pasteurization process, typically by briefly heating it to 85 to 90 degrees Celsius, and then quickly cooling it down. After pasteurization, the juice is poured into large specialized drums, usually ranging from 180 to 200 liters in capacity, and immediately stored in cold rooms at temperatures between 0 and 4 degrees Celsius. Afterward, the juice undergoes a thorough and multi-step quality inspection process to ensure it meets the highest standards of safety, purity, and flavor. Laboratory technicians collect samples from each batch to test for microbial content, pH levels, sugar concentration, and vitamin retention. Advanced analytical equipment is used to detect any possible contaminants or inconsistencies. At the same time, trained sensory panels may evaluate the taste, aroma, and color to ensure the juice maintains its signature freshness and balance. Storing the juice in these large batches helps maintain its quality and makes it easier to handle bulk distribution or prepare for final packaging later on. The entire bottling process is conducted in a sealed, sterile environment to prevent bacterial contamination and preserve product integrity. Before filling, empty containers, typically PET plastic bottles, glass bottles, or aseptic cartons, are thoroughly cleaned and dried with sterile hot air. The juice is precisely dispensed into the containers using volumetric sensor-controlled nozzles. Immediately afterward, the bottles are sealed tightly and passed through a tunnel pasteurizer using steam or hot water, which provides an extra layer of sterilization around the bottle's mouth and cap. This not only kills any remaining microorganisms, but also stabilizes the internal pressure to prevent the bottles from deforming during storage. Once pasteurized, the bottles are quickly cooled using cold mist sprays or immersion in chilled water baths. They then continue down the production line for final quality checks. Bottles that pass inspection are labeled, packed into boxes, stacked on pallets, and transferred into refrigerated storage, ready to be shipped to markets around the world. Imagine stepping into a vast avocado orchard where sun-drenched trees heavy with fruit stretch endlessly toward the horizon. Welcome to Michoacan, Mexico, the avocado capital of the world, where over 2.5 million tons are harvested each year. But Michoacan is just the beginning. The avocado boom has spread across other fertile regions, from the highland farms of Chile and the coastal valleys of Peru to the abundant groves of California, USA. Forming a global avocado belt that powers both supply and export for the entire world. Although avocados may seem easy to grow, if you live in a region where temperatures drop below 5 degrees Celsius or rise above 38 degrees Celsius, your beloved avocado tree is almost certain to struggle or may not survive at all. Did you know? Avocados were once called alligator pears because of their bumpy skin. Unlike traditional sweet fruits like apples or pears, the avocado is a natural masterpiece. Rich in heart-healthy monounsaturated fats, packed with more potassium than bananas, and loaded with vitamins E, K, and C, along with lutein to support eye health. But the value of avocados goes far beyond nutrition. In Mexican culture, avocados and guacamole symbolize luck and abundance, with roots tracing back to the Aztecs. Today, guacamole is a global favorite, especially in the US, where it's a Super Bowl essential with thousands of tons consumed in a single day. Every remarkable journey has a beginning, and for avocados, it starts with the harvest season. By summer, after 6 to 7 months of careful development since flowering, avocado orchards grow heavy with fruit. Farmers work tirelessly, checking ripeness, preparing harvest baskets, and meticulously picking each avocado to ensure the best possible quality. A key factor that determines the fruit's perfect flavor and freshness lies in the farmer's sharp eye and intuitive touch, something no modern machine can replicate. Harvesting avocados requires finesse and a keen sense for selecting perfectly ripe fruit, smooth-skinned, unmarred, and just the right softness. Farmers use long poles with specialized cutters to reach high branches, often paired with sturdy ladders or mechanical lifts mounted on trucks. These mobile platforms allow them to adjust height and navigate between trees safely and efficiently. For lower-hanging fruit, the harvest is simpler. A gentle snip of the stem with shears or a skilled twist of the hand is all it takes. Each avocado is then carefully placed into a chest-worn basket to avoid bruising from impact. An experienced worker can harvest up to 450 kilograms of avocados per hour. Though modest compared to machine-harvested crops, this precision ensures the fruit remains fresh and flavorful, reflecting the care and respect farmers bring to each season. However, due to its biological nature, avocado farming demands a significant amount of water, about 320 liters for a single fruit. This raises sustainability concerns, especially in water-scarce regions like Mexico, Peru, and Chile. As climate change intensifies, the avocado industry is under increasing pressure to find more water-efficient and environmentally responsible farming methods. But harvesting is only half the secret behind the exceptional quality found in every avocado product. The other half lies beyond the orchard, deep within the walls of modern processing facilities. As soon as the avocados arrive at the factory, they undergo a strict incoming inspection process to ensure consistent quality across the entire batch. First, technical specialists randomly select samples from the avocado crates and examine them in a laboratory, assessing key indicators such as ripeness, firmness, color, and pesticide residue levels. Next, the crates of avocados are placed onto an inbound quality control conveyor belt. This conveyor system, equipped with continuously rotating rollers, allows workers to easily observe the entire surface of each avocado, enabling them to quickly identify and remove any fruits showing signs of bruising, cracking, or other defects. Only avocados that meet the highest quality standards are allowed to continue on to the next stages of processing, while substandard ones are immediately discarded. After passing the initial inspection, the avocados are transferred onto a conveyor equipped with high-pressure spray nozzles. The water pressure must be strong enough to remove dirt, sand, and debris, clinging tightly to the skin, yet gentle enough to avoid scratching the avocado's delicate outer layer, which bruises easily if handled improperly. However, rinsing with water alone is not enough to ensure complete cleanliness. That's why the avocados are then dropped into large water tanks containing a mild disinfectant solution. This step helps deeply cleanse every crevice of the fruit, wash away pesticide residues, lightly sanitize the surface, and quickly cool the avocados, all of which contribute to preserving freshness in the steps that follow. After the avocados are thoroughly washed and sanitized, they move on to the drying stage. Here, they are transferred onto a vibrating conveyor or an air-drying tunnel equipped with powerful, temperature-controlled fans. Proper drying is essential. It not only prevents water from interfering with downstream processes like cutting or peeling, but also reduces the risk of microbial growth during handling. Once dry, the avocados are ready for the next phase of processing. Next, the avocados are moved to the sorting area, one of the most critical steps in the entire process. But why is this so important? High-resolution industrial cameras combined with image analysis software automatically scan each avocado to assess factors such as size, skin color, and ripeness. Avocados that meet standards for shape, uniform color, and ideal or even underripe maturity are separated for fresh packing, domestic distribution, or export. Fruits that are moderately ripe, intact, and firm are directed into the frozen avocado processing line. Meanwhile, overripe or visually imperfect avocados, as long as the flesh remains high quality, are reserved for guacamole production. That's why the sorting system, which operates continuously with high precision, plays a crucial role in ensuring consistent quality across all product lines and maximizing the total value of every avocado batch. In the fresh avocado packing area, only the avocados that meet quality standards are sent directly onto the distribution conveyor. Here, workers perform one final quick check to remove any fruits that may have been damaged during internal transport. The avocados are then placed into specially designed trays or carton boxes, lined with soft padding to minimize impact. The packing process is primarily done by hand, allowing workers to use their flexibility and delicate touch to reduce surface bruising as much as possible. In some large-scale factories, automated robots are also used to speed up the packing process, though they often lack the finesse and gentleness of human hands. Each shipment is clearly labeled with information about its origin, packing date, and product type. The completed boxes of avocados are immediately placed in cold storage, maintained at a temperature of 5 to 7 degrees Celsius, to preserve peak freshness and quality before heading out to millions of consumers. Meanwhile, avocados that don't meet the standards for fresh export embark on a different yet equally fascinating journey, one that takes them through the frozen processing line or into the production of guacamole. At this stage, the avocados are fed into an automated cutting machine, where sharp rotating blades slice each fruit in half quickly and uniformly. After cutting, the pit is either removed automatically by the machine or manually by workers during the pulp extraction process. The avocado flesh is then transferred onto a chilled conveyor belt, where workers inspect each piece for quality, removing any bruised, damaged, or substandard portions. The approved avocado pieces continue on to the next stage of processing, while the low temperatures maintained throughout this step help preserve freshness and slow down oxidation. Avocado seeds may seem like waste left behind after each batch of guacamole, but in reality, they are far from useless. As microplastics are increasingly found in soil, water, and even human blood, bio-based alternatives are making a comeback and growing more popular than ever. First, the seeds are collected, thoroughly washed to remove any remaining pulp, and dried to reduce their moisture content to around 8 to 10%. Next, the dried seeds are finely ground into powder, then blended with natural binders such as cornstarch, bio-based glycerin, and organic additives to create a biopolymer mixture. This mixture is then molded using specialized machines to produce items like straws, spoons, forks, and plates, products that offer durability and heat resistance comparable to petroleum-based plastics, but with a major advantage: they can fully decompose within 180 days under industrial composting conditions. However, there's a catch. These eco-products are still 2 to 3 times more expensive than traditional plastics, and their fast biodegradability only occurs in strictly controlled industrial environments. If discarded carelessly into nature, they can actually take even longer to break down than conventional plastic. If you're searching for an oil that's both nutrient-rich and safe for your health, avocado oil is an excellent choice. It's produced by pressing or centrifuging the soft, ripe flesh of the avocado after the skin and seed have been removed. The extracted oil is then filtered to remove impurities while preserving its natural flavor and signature green hue. Compared to olive oil, avocado oil has a higher smoke point, a milder taste, and remains rich in healthy fats and vitamin E, making it ideal for both cooking and skincare. But the avocado's journey doesn't end there. With their rapid ripening and harvest volumes reaching tens of thousands of tons per season, avocados must be processed quickly, and freezing offers the most effective solution. Once the seeds and skins are removed, the pure avocado flesh is fed into an automatic slicer. Some products retain avocado halves or larger chunks without going through the cutting stage. After shaping, the avocado pieces are immediately transferred into an IQF system, where the temperature drops to -40 degrees within minutes. As a result, once thawed, the product retains much of its fresh taste and smooth, creamy texture, closely resembling that of a perfectly ripe avocado. But what happens when that 80% frozen green cube transforms into a creamy crowd favorite? This is where guacamole takes the throne, rich, vibrant, and ready to rule taste buds around the world. After a final quality check, the pulp is transferred into an industrial mashing machine. Depending on the product requirements, the avocado can be finely mashed into a smooth consistency or lightly mashed to retain small chunks of fruit. The mixing paddles operate at carefully controlled speeds and durations to ensure the desired consistency while preserving the fresh, vibrant flavor. Depending on the production line, the seasoning formula typically includes a precise blend of ingredients, often consisting of approximately 1.5% salt, 3 to 5% lime juice, 6 to 8% chopped onion, 5 to 7% diced tomato, and 1 to 2% chopped cilantro, based on the total weight of the mashed avocado. Once it passes quality checks, the guacamole is transferred to a sterile filling system for automated packaging. For retail or single-serve products, the guacamole is filled into shallow plastic trays or small round containers. After filling, the containers are sealed with plastic lids or covered with a thin, transparent film or foil seal, protecting the product from oxidation and ensuring maximum hygiene. Finally, the guacamole products undergo high-pressure processing, a cutting-edge, non-thermal preservation method. Subjected to extreme pressure, up to 6,000 bar, the guacamole is treated in a way that effectively eliminates harmful bacteria without the use of heat or chemical preservatives. This ensures the product retains its bright color, fresh taste, and natural texture, while significantly extending its shelf life. And perhaps, the next time you dip a nacho into guacamole, drizzle avocado oil over your meal, or sip from a biodegradable straw made from an avocado seed, you'll recognize that beneath that smooth green surface lies an entire world of innovation, sustainable agriculture, and human dedication. The process begins with selected peaches being fed into an automated cutting machine. Here, precision blades slice the fruit in half and remove the pit, even while the skin is still intact. Cutting the peaches before peeling not only saves time, but also helps prevent the fruit from softening due to exposure to high temperatures in later stages. After the peaches are halved by the machine, workers perform a manual inspection to remove any remaining pit that the machine may have missed. Then, the peach halves are transferred into a tank containing sodium hydroxide, NaOH. In this bath, the outer skin reacts gently with the alkali, loosening and detaching easily within 30 to 60 seconds. Once the outer skin has been loosened by the alkaline solution, the peach halves are transferred to a neutralizing rinse containing citric acid or ascorbic acid, vitamin C. This step effectively eliminates any remaining alkali from the surface of the fruit, while also preventing oxidation and preserving the peach's naturally vibrant yellow color before it continues through the next stages of processing. After being soaked in the alkaline solution, the peach halves are passed through a screening system with uniformly sized holes to sort out and remove any pieces that do not meet the required size standards before moving on to the next processing steps. Next, the peaches move through a high-pressure rinsing system, which thoroughly removes the loosened skin and neutralizes any residual alkali to ensure food safety. At this stage, workers use small knives to carefully trim away any remaining bits of skin, ensuring each peach half is thoroughly cleaned. At the same time, slices that are chipped or misshapen are skillfully adjusted, making the final product more uniform and visually appealing. The peach halves are nearly ready for final processing. They are evenly distributed onto separate conveyor lines and prepared for precise slicing. Here, each half is passed through a specialized cutter equipped with 3-blade knives, which divide the fruit into uniformly sized slices. Before being canned, the peach slices pass through an advanced light-based inspection system, which typically uses ultraviolet UV light. Even the smallest defects are detected and removed. This ensures that only the most perfect slices make it to the final canning stage. Workers then take over the task of arranging the peach slices neatly into cans, This manual arrangement helps enhance the visual appeal of the final product and optimizes the space within each can. You thought that was the end? Not quite. There's one final step: preparing the syrup from water and sugar. It may sound simple, but it's absolutely essential. The syrup is heated to around 90 degrees Celsius and adjusted to 14 to 18 degrees Brix, then poured over the peaches to preserve their color, flavor, and extend shelf life. After being filled with syrup, the cans are tightly sealed using high-precision seamers to ensure they are completely airtight and leak-proof. Then comes the sterilization stage. The peach cans are placed into a retort system, consisting of large horizontal heating chambers, where they are cooked at temperatures ranging from 100 degrees Celsius to 121 degrees Celsius for about 10 to 20 minutes. This process effectively eliminates any remaining microorganisms, extends shelf life, and ensures the peach slices retain their natural shape, texture, and vibrant color.